you can go on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's more about being an actor now. It's not more about being looking good and all.
Yes.
I've seen so many guys like Pankaj Tripathi, Siddiqui, and all these guys.
Nawazuddin, yeah.
How they look and how they look now. Obviously, things have changed.
Yeah.
And what the show they put on is so surprising. I mean, you get amazed. So I think now it's more about acting.
It is.
Right.
And you know what? They give me inspiration too, because you know what? And life is unfolding. Universe is unfolding here. We are getting more exposed to diversity, inclusivity. Acting too. You know, if you're talented and if you can do your job, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, like these people have won national awards.
How did the life go from 20 to 30?
So
10 साल के में निकले.
my plan was to get a nice job, you know, climb the corporate ladder like everybody else does, get a good position, make good money, and establish myself. Finding similarity in place where you are was hard. Anything that you want to do in life, I'll say one thing to younger girls or somebody who's starting out, is that your intention, if you have a dream, it's your dream. So make sure that you take ownership of your dream.
Awesome, Kanika. So Kanika, you know what, when I was doing my little bit of one-man research, I thought, okay, who is Kanika? Where is she from? What does she exactly do? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm a mom of 2 kids. So, and I say mom first because that's been the most rewarding thing in my life. So I always describe myself as a mom. I was born and raised in India, and I've lived here for the last 20 years. I was married here, raised my family here, and I have a small business called Adore by Kanika. And because of that business, I'm able to go back and forth and keep my foot kind of in both countries, so which is kind of makes me like an Indian, Canadian, both, and makes me feel that I'm a part of both of my worlds.
So from what I understood when I was watching the videos, you came here at a young age when you were 20?
I was 20.
So basically you did half of your life, like half of your life is in India. So basically all your young life has been in India.
Yeah.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਲੱਗਿਆ when you came here at age of 20? 20 ਸਾਲ ਚ ਕੋਈ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ how did you think? ਕੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਉਦੋਂ?
ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਕਨਾ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ 20 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੋਟੀ ਸੀ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ 19 ਚ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਗਾਈ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਸੀ, 20 ਚ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ things were different. Vancouver was not as big a city, and I moved to Richmond, and I moved in a joint family. So it was a lot to deal with culturally, क्योंकि इतने Indians नहीं थे Richmond ਵਿੱਚ 20 years ago. So finding like resonation, like finding similarity in place where you are was hard. And then मैं छोटी भी सीगी, impressionable भी सीगी, vulnerable सीगी, कोई work experience नहीं था, सीधा university करके आ गई सी.
Right.
So I was like a kid in this new world, and it was very, very new, I would say, because I was married and I had, like, thankfully I had a husband and husband's family.
Right.
That assimilation was easy, but culturally, it was 2 different worlds for me.
As a woman, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦਾ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, how ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋ, like what's the thought process, ਕੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਦਾ, what's going on in your mind? You left everything basically.
Yeah.
You leave your home.
मैं sad ਸੀਗੀ because ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ friends, family, cousins, ਮੈਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਬੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, experience ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ halfway across the world, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ like it's a 3-hour flight or 4-hour flight. That time there were no direct flights, and nobody would go back. ਉਸ time ਕੋਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਸਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਾਂ ਦੋ, like people would go 3 years and 4 years. So when I was leaving, I knew that ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ faces ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਚਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਣੇ, like I when I was leaving them, like God knows when will I see them again.
Right.
But it was hard because I felt like I am disconnected. Because उस time ते phone भी नहीं होंदे सी. Like I remember BlackBerry came उस time जब BBM शुरू होया सी, I was like, yay, I have something to connect with. But so disconnected इस करके feel होना सी because कोई और नहीं सका, time difference इतना सी, कोई technology नहीं सी. So just going back or being on the phone was the only way to be connected.
Right.
So it was hard, but I was young. So they say when you're young, you can move the mountains, do the tougher things.
Right.
So yeah.
So now you're 20, you came here married. Now what's going on? Did you do jobs? Did you do anything? कुछ तुसी की सोच उस टाइम तक की चल रहा है दिमाग की कर रहे सीगे? How did the life go from 20 to 30?
So
10 साल कैसे निकले वो?
मैं 10 साल दो like I raised 2 kids. But वो planning नहीं सीगी. Planning सीगी कि मैं like I want to go back to school. I want to learn a skill and go find a job. My plan was to get a nice job, you know, climb the corporate ladder like everybody else does, get a good position, make good money, and establish myself.
Right.
So I did go to school. मैं university India ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ, Delhi University political science major करके आई सी. ਇੱਥੇ आके मैं HR management ਕੀਤੀ. I did my post back. So I got my certification as a post back. And then my goal was to find jobs. But जब मैं jobs करनी शुरू की थी, I had a baby. So that was going back and forth कि मतलब focus baby nu करना है. Then I didn't have a driver's license. I did not have any job experience. There were so many things. I was establishing myself, and I was pregnant at 21. So right off the bat, मेरे ब्याह तो एकदम बाद में pregnant हो गई सी. मेरे को PR भी नहीं सीखा. So it was just like, okay, let's just have the baby, establish myself, get my foot in the door. Okay, license आ जाए, proper courage के रहना है, laundry करना आ जाए, खाना, like basic skills,
things, yeah.
basic things to get by before I could think about my job and what money I would make and all that stuff.
Did you ever feel you got married too young?
Yeah.
You felt so?
Yeah. I did. In my family, kind of, मेरे sister ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ 18 ਸਾਲ ਚ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰੀ ਵੱਡੀ sister ਦਾ. So in my family, ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਜਲਦੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ. So it didn't seem early back then because it was a norm.
Right.
And I had seen my sister. But ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ it was too early because, but then I also say thanks because ਜੇ ਇੰਨੀ early ਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, I would have been established more as an independent woman. Then I wouldn't be so fluid. I would be stagnant as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
What, after 10 years, apne, family.
I had kids. I did my jobs here and there.
Right.
Spend mostly time with the kids and getting my foot established. Like modeling bhi kitti thodi ji.
Right.
Here and there, just little things.
So when you say modeling bhi kitti, modeling, when you have kids and all, right? Although modeling karni ta is like,
I know.
When because you go through your body changes and everything.
Yeah.
How did you go through that process? उतना बहुत औखा होगा.
It was actually मैं शुरू तो ही ना kind of बचपन तो ही I was interested in arts and entertainment and fashion. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be on camera. I wanted to do the runway, go in pageants. तो वो मेरा बचपन तो एक सपना जैसे का. जब मेरा ब्याह हुआ and I moved here, my son was born when I was 21.
Right.
So I was pretty young when I had my first child. So एक 1.5 साल बाद and I was still going to school. I remember I was going to Quantland getting I told my husband that I want to do modeling.
Right.
And he said, if you want to do that, you can do that, but just know that it comes with a lot of pressure. Right. And I said, I'm okay to, I started working out. I started applying. I got a lot of opportunities to work, do the runway, commercials, catalogs, a lot of it, like mainstream, South Asian, sara kuch kita. And that gave me a lot of confidence. And that gave me a lot of validation to that little girl, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਚਪਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ validation ਮਿਲੀ ਕਿ life is not over. You can still do it.
Right.
You can still, give comfort to that little girl, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਬੱਚਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. So ਉਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ.
So basically, there is no time. ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ any time. Basically, there is no timeline. You can do anything whenever you want to do in life.
Absolutely. I think my biggest message to women and younger girls is that there is no time. Time is, we are conditioned in a way by society that, this is the good time to viyaah hona chahiye. By 30, you should be married. By 35, you should have kids because biological clock and this. There's so many things, right? But there's also a thing called your own purpose, your own journey as a human. You're a human first. You're here. God has sent you on this earth with a purpose. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸ ਸੈਂਡ ਵੀ ਕਰਦਾ through messages, through people, through books, through movies, through music. Because ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਟਰਨ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, that means it has something to do with your purpose.
Right.
And you have to be open to it. So for me, my purpose has always driven me until now. I just did my 40th birthday And my first movie came out last year. And that has been on my mind for so long. I've been going to acting school. I've been training to, be in front of the camera. I've been doing dialect classes, you name it. And I've been training myself.
Wow.
Because I don't think that even when I'm 60 or 70 or 80, that is it. I've capped it. You can continue to live your passion until the last day of your life.
Right. And I think now what I see, acting is basically acting, and this, film industry is more about, you can go on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's more about being an actor now. It's not more about being looking good and all.
Yes.
I've seen so many guys like Pankaj Tripathi, Siddiqui, and all these guys.
Yeah.
How they look.
Yeah.
And how they look now, obviously things have changed.
Yeah.
And what the show they put on is so surprising. I mean, you get amazed. So I think now it's more about acting.
It is.
Right.
And you know what? They are my biggest, they give me inspiration too, because you know what? And life is unfolding, universe is unfolding. We are getting more exposed to diversity, inclusivity, acting too. If you're talented and if you can do your job, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. These people have won national awards. Their movies have gone to Oscars. This movie called Class 5 or Class 5 or something. It was an Oscar nominee. And all these actors, they look like people next door. They're not over the top, tall or built, or, there's no glamour quotient to them. They're good actors. They can make you feel something on the screen.
Right.
And that's what art is about, right?
You saw this guy, 12th Fail?
12th Fail.
What's his name? Oh my God, what an actor he is.
What an actor. And see, he looks the guy next door.
Absolutely.
And what a brilliant actor.
Right. And I haven't seen him showing off. I saw his interview the other. I'm like, wow, man. Like, he's so down to earth. He talks so well. Such a good, proper educated guy, I would say.
And even in acting, you can see that you relate to this character. Like, he is that guy. And that's what we want to do. I mean, I know that movies have always had that glamour piece where they want to glorify heroes, heroines. I don't even know why they call these words.
Right.
But at the end of the day, movies are reflection of real life. So why not actors can be reflection of real people, right? So how many people do you see that are walking around with 6-pack abs and big arms and, with their clothing and 6'3" height? Lives and movies are reflection of regular people. So
how do you train your mind now that, okay, you had kids, you went through everything at 30 years, now you're in 40s, no one can tell, I will be honest. You actually look 27.
Okay, that's pushing it.
Yeah, no. Well, you can tell. I mean, if you talk to someone, they can tell the age. I don't think so, right? So I think you look 27. But fair we, when you have the body, you go through the body changes, you are a mom as well. वो सारा कुछ maintain करना, isn't it a big challenge? Okay, is it motivation?
मैंने लगता है कि, it's a good thing that my career and my lifestyle choices are coming back to looking, being in shape and taking care of yourself. Because life, this is a life skill, kind of, not just to be an actor or a model. I mean, think about it. If you want to be fit in your later years, like 60s, 70s, 80s, you have to put in the work now.
Right.
Matlab ki this is a basic prerequisite that every human should do, especially mothers. क्योंकि ਜਿਹੜੀ moms ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ body ਕਾਫੀ go through ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ childbirth ਵਿੱਚ, right? And I'm sure you're a dad yourself. You know, you've experienced that with your wife.
Right.
It's a lot. Your body going through childbirth and coming back, and then there's so many hormones and things. Working out, taking care of yourself, eating right is not just important for just mothers, for everybody, because that's your life skill. You want to be able to do things, travel in your 60s and 70s, put in the work now. You want to play with your grandkids and go to the park and jump around with them, put in the work now.
Right.
You want to live a long life without disease, put in the work now.
Right.
So now is your time to put in the work for your health, because what you reap is what you sow. So don't make smart choices. I just try to be smarter about my choices, like not smoke, not drink, or drink very rarely. I shouldn't say not drink, because I don't know, you were holding a drink.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
No, I get it. Yeah.
And eating choices too. Like I know you take care of your health too, so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What is there something specific that you want to tell every girl who moves to Canada, or not even Canada, in general as well, who has big dreams? I have seen so many people have big dreams. They want to go in the industry, but they don't know the process.
Yeah.
But they have dreams. I'll be honest. I have seen so many people, girl, boys, like I see Punjabi movies, film Hindi film chana chana, but we don't know the process. We don't know where to start. We don't have the connections.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to have the connections to be at that point, or how does that work?
Well, connections are always good, but if like anything that you want to do in life, I'll say one thing to younger girls or somebody who's starting out is that your intention, right? Your intention plays a big role. So know that if you have a dream, it's your dream. So make sure that you take ownership of your dream. So you have to put in the work. No one's going to hand it over to you that, oh, this is your dream, here it is. Like you have to fight for it. Is it worth fighting for? Is it worth putting every day all the work for? If it is, then get up, get on it. Don't rely on anybody that they are going to make it easier for you.
Right.
If you have support, it's bonus. If you have friends who are like, supporting you, building you, it's a bonus. But it's your dream, and you have to pretty much like take it for you.
Right.
Instead of waiting around for it to be given it to you. And when it comes to film industry, like connections, the baat hi gal hai, but just believing that you can do it, and then start from anywhere. Get your photos taken, get a demo reel, find an agent, talk to people, chase people in the industry, or work on your craft, start training, find a coach. You know what I mean?
When you say training is acting?
Acting training, yeah.
Acting ithe sikhande ne Vancouver.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been with a coach for the last 6.5 years now. She trains, there's a lot of like diverse group of people in my class, rarely any Indians. So my accent sometimes come in the way, but then we are being trained by someone who is incredible, and we go and spend the time, put in the work.
So when you're doing training, acting सीख रहे हो, सारी details कर रहे हो ना, what is the bigger goal here? हुन मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, for example, like you are doing this, you want to go here. कित्थे जाना आपा इत्थों? Like what's your goal? You want to go on the Netflix? You want to go there? As
an actor, Kanav, as long as I am a part of good projects, good meaningful stories, I'm happy. Whether it's films, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Amazon, whether it's short films, independent films, private, projects. As long as I'm a part of good stories that are making a difference, I'm happy. Because when I started acting, I knew that I wanted to be in films, and this was my dream. But when I started training as an actor, मैंने आपके बारे इन्ना कुछ learn करने मिला that as a person, this craft gets to know who you are. When you're playing a homeless person, or when you're playing someone who's a gangster with a gun, you actually get in that character and think about what that character might be feeling or thinking. So it actually, in your body, there are things happening. There's feelings happening. There are emotions that are firing up, triggers that are firing up that you don't even know where they're coming from, but they belong to the character. So you learn about yourself so much. And I love the whole artistic side of being an actor. So no matter where the journey takes me, I'm happy.
Do you ever feel like you can direct a movie or produce a movie?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love stories. I love stories. I love cinema. I love the whole art about it.
Do you look at the stories every day in your life? Like when you look around,
I do.
like, okay, you keep an eye on it,
Yeah.
right? I always keep an eye on, okay, this is a good story.
Yeah.
This can be put out in a nice way.
Yeah.
So I think people do that a lot, right?
When I met you and you talked about a little bit about yourself too, your story was very appealing to me.
Yeah.
Very inspirational. And I also try to take what I can learn from the story.
Right.
Like someone who is, like the one thing that came up to me or striked about you was somebody who is not scared and willing to take a risk to become something bigger than he's envisioned.
Yeah.
So I was really inspired by that. And every story will give you something that you can take away from. It may not apply directly to you,
Right.
but there's always something there.
Yeah, we only have one life.
Yeah.
I always talk to my wife, I'm like, what do you want to do? Just do it. Don't even think of anyone.
Yeah.
Not even me. Just do it and then say, okay, I have done it. and then move on to the next thing, then next thing, right? I think you just have to keep on doing it, right?
And not a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people, especially because we're South Asians, you know, Indian people are conditioned in a way to, you know, look after others, look after our families, our parents, our kids. So we are at the back end.
Right.
We're not trained to think about ourselves. But if you think about it, like if we don't, the more we fill ourselves, the more we fill people around us. Right?
100%.
So, and again, this one life concept, it is one life. People are, I mean, look at what's happening around. There's wars, there's disease, there's, you know, people are, mental health.
Yeah.
So, je aaj tode kol koi opportunity or even desire or even dream hegi, why would you know, hold on to it and not act, you know, dive into it? What's stopping you other than yourself?
Right.
Je assi kehne vi hai ki nahi, as tade kol aayega, aaj nahi kal, oh excuses hai ne.
Right.
You know, if it belongs to you, if it's coming in your subconscious mind, if universe is giving you the signs, you're responsible to take action. No one else.
Do you keep people around you who give excuses, like for a long time? Maybe temporary. Everyone comes, obviously.
I am sometimes that person who gives excuses, but then I call myself out. You know, jab main 3-4 din gym nahi gayi, I was, you know, I had work, and I'm like, it takes 45 minutes of your time to get out, and it's crucial for the person I'm building up and the humans I'm building up. I want to be a role model for my kids. You know, health and mental health and stability, balance. This is the core of who you are. And especially just in gym and jaake, you know, as you work out karte hain, we feel good. We are releasing endorphins. We are getting the happy hormone. And we are building the mental resilience too, to face life. You know, we can't face life sitting on our chair. We have to do things like, you know, like younger girls, women who they learn kickboxing how to kick. If there is a real life scenario where they have to kick somebody, you know, you've got the skill in the gym.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah.
At the same time, मैं देख रहा कि you are also an entrepreneur at the same time. You have your own brand, Adored by Kanika, right?
जी.
So तुम full time कर रहे हो?
हाँ जी.
What is Adored by Kanika? What if someone has to go check this brand out? What exactly is this brand?
So Adored by Kanika it started as a passion project. मैं दिल्ली दी पली बड़ी हूँ, तुहानू पता है. I've been inclined in fashion, and fashion is also a therapy for me. Like, you know, on a bad day, I would put an outfit together. Like, you know, a painter paints a canvas. Like, add the naal add jayega, and then these shoes, and then this shoe. So that's my creative process of feeling good about, you know, everything. So I wanted that to be a part of my work, where I feel good about it every day. And, you know, there's so much talent in India, and I wanted to kind of bring that here and give accessibility to people, an audience in Canada. Because there's so much that goes on when a designer is, you know, putting a collection together. Like, ek designer jitna main kaam kar diya, Rabta by Rahul. He's a nature lover. So on the jewelry, which you'll see, there's elements of nature, birds chirping, river flowing, and culture of India, like Karwa Chauth, you know, the husband and wife doing that thali ritual.
Right.
His jewelry will have elements of Indian culture, Indian stories, Indian mythology, wedding. And that is such a beautiful art inspiration for me, you know, like when I get to represent those stories here, I take a lot of pride because, you know, people here, they also want to learn about the culture and the enriched art about India. So if I have access to bring that here, why wouldn't I?
Right.
So my clothing designers, jewelry designers, सब सारा काम कर दिया, and I try to bring the people that I'm inspired by.
So Adored by Kanika has products that is jewelry.
Yes.
That is clothing.
Yes.
Anything else specific?
So Adored by Kanika is representing Indian designers.
Okay.
From India. It represents jewelry and clothes. Clothing मैं usually पहले अपने studio which displays नहीं रख दी सी. I would only do pop-ups. Like a few months, I would do a host a pop-up, bring the inventory, sell it here, and then. But now I'm also catering to clothing clients because I'm carrying it in my studio as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you have a studio, update कैसे रखते हो? Like, do you speak to these designers all the time, saying, hey,
I do.
you know what? Okay.
I do. So मेरा सारा काम is like navigating between the Indian designers and Canadian clients.
ठीक है.
So मतलब इन्हां दी need की है, ओके design कर रहे हैं, and especially if I have inclination towards something, I will bring the collection and sell it here. And because I go back and forth, साडी shipping भी काफी on and off चलती रहती है. And then we have we can navigate through the whole, inventory back and forth and stuff too.
And what is the kind of audience that is buying from you? कौन ने वो लोग जिन्हें buy करते ने?
We're mostly catering to the bridal industry.
Okay.
So bridal jewelry, bridal outfits. So a lot of brides come to us.
Okay.
We do custom jewelry. जे किसी ने सानू दिखाया कि मैंने अपने like jewelry which I want like this piece, this key that my grandma gave me, and I want a shape of that. We can create that for her.
Okay.
So our customization becomes very tedious process. Kalire which किसी ने अपने like if they want to put a picture of their husband, we can do that.
Wow, people want that?
People want that. Yeah, believe it or not.
That is funny actually.
People want that.
Okay.
It's a keepsake.
Yeah.
Kalire rakhne ne sari zindagi, right? So, and the designers also have designed like jewelry for celebrities like Deepika Padukone, Katrina Kaif. So
do people tell you that we want the husband picture in the locket as well? That reminds me of movie Karan Arjun. Mere Karan Arjun aayenge. That's funny.
no.
No, they don't say that. Okay, that's good then.
I know.
This is the modern world actually.
This is the modern world. But Kalire which they ask usually for grandparents.
Kalire ਉਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਆਏ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ. Oh my god, that is
It's
funny.
a ritual. They ਤੋੜਦੇ ਨੇ, then it ties on top of the girl who gets married next.
That was very funny.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture after.
No, that's great. So I heard that you are having a trunk show.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ trunk show. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ trunk show. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ what is trunk show? ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ? So I searched a little. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਅੱਛਾ trunk show. Wow. Tell me about it. You tell. What is a trunk show actually?
So a trunk show is an exhibition.
Okay.
It's another word for exhibition or a pop-up where we are displaying a lot of fashion, jewelry, clothing, and people can come and shop.
Okay.
So a trunk show is hosted at a place where it's not a retail store, but it's another like we pick a hall or we pick a a different venue, and we bring all the clothes and jewelry and we get people to come and shop. So that's a trunk show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when is the trunk show? When is it?
Our trunk show is on April 20th and 21st.
Okay.
It's at Bombay Banquet, and it's on 2 days, Vaisakhi wala weekend actually.
Okay.
But it's in the evening, so people can come and shop. Our designers are coming, so they can meet with them, book individual consults.
Is this open to all? Like
Open
anyone
to
can
all.
walk in?
Anybody can walk.
Where is this happening?
It's at Bombay Banquet Hall.
Bombay में. Okay, ये किथे है? Surrey?
हाँ जी, मैं भूल गई थी चले back रहने दो.
Yeah, मैं भूल जा. I lived in Surrey for 2 years,
Yeah.
but I don't remember the places.
Bombay Banquet is. I'm so bad with.
But Surrey है ना बस.
Surrey जगह.
I think people can search that.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
एक चीज हो रहा है. हम this थोड़ी conversation और पासे जाओगी, but I want to talk about it. I used to make fun of like in my own way that okay. कुड़ियाँ तैयार होंदियाँ and all that, and I think a lot of people think that people dress up so much. Sometimes they just overdress and overdo things. Does that give them a lot of confidence? ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ dress up ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, makeup ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, why do they do that first thing? Is it for the confidence that they want or what?
I'm so glad कि ਤੁਸੀਂ पहले बोला कि मैं पहले I was very curious about this.
Yeah.
क्योंकि I'm happy that you're interested to find out why
Right.
people spend so much time and effort.
Right.
Like I was speaking from my point of view, I always think of fashion, like I said, as an expression. कि मैं किस तरह अपने express कर सकती हूँ. I'm a vibrant person, so I love wearing like vibrant colors. Even today, I'm wearing an orange. I love wearing bold colors because that's my personality.
Right.
So जब मैं और reflect करती हूँ अपने style इच, that makes me more in alignment with who I am. If you gave me like a simple something, I would not be happy. This gives me happiness. Like, oh, this makes Kanika come to life. So that's similarly when people wear, when people go all out in dressing or makeup or hair, I think that's a reflection of who they are. And they want to get out in the world being, they want to justify who they are by wearing what they want to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you'll see some people are lazy and they don't want to dress up and they're like, you know what, we'll just wear whatever comes to our hand. And that's who they are. They are not they're not too intrigued by fashion. And that's okay, because maybe there's something else that, but for a lot of people who use fashion as expression, it's just I would say just a tool, right? Like your voice, like your art, like, your singing, your anything.
I think also it helps, connect you with more people as well.
Yeah.
I've felt it personally. When I came here, you don't have time for all this.
Yeah.
When I came, I'm like, koi time nahi hai.
Yeah.
Just go to job or do your shit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you don't care about what you're wearing. You just wear whatever you
Yeah.
want to. But after a while, you realize, okay, you're getting fat. You're not dressing up properly. You're not able to make connections. Because then others also start like, okay, you know what? Because then you become, there is no such thing called average. मैं नहीं सोचता कोई average है, but मैं ये सोचता कि still you are in a different league.
And you're not being
mentally.
noticed.
You're not being noticed. Okay,
Because
let's say
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ notice ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, then how would anyone else
No one
notice?
notice you.
Right?
Right,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean to say that, you can only get noticed if you're fashionable. I don't mean to say
100%
that.
yeah.
What I mean to say is, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ, like, why do people have jobs like image consultant or stylist? Because they want to portray themselves as a professional.
Right.
Or someone who takes time to put themselves together, right? Like, why do men wear suits in professional meetings? It's just a thing to be polite and that, hey, look, I took an effort to,
Right.
like, I take this seriously.
Right.
So even with, like, जब ਅਸੀਂ workout भी करते हैं, ਅਸੀਂ workout क्यों करते हैं? Because we are serious about life.
Right.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਾ, ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ lazy ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we get fat, like, we put on weight. Why does that happen to us? Because we stop paying attention.
Right.
So the biggest thing is, how are you paying attention to yourself? ਤੁਸੀਂ simple भी हो सकते हो, that's not a thing, but then are you really putting the time in nurturing who you are? ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ,
Right.
I feel like I did something for myself.
Right.
It's not just for the world.
Right.
Actually, it's not for the world. I feel that this is when I come to life. I'm ready for the world. I can ready to conquer the world. और confidence अंदर जो होता है. And I think people, I can say for most women at least, they think the same.
No,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Right?
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ this is a great way to look at it because I look at it the same way now, not before.
Yeah.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ if you dress up well,
Yeah.
whenever we go for street interviews especially, I take at least 40 minutes to dress up and maybe change again and again and say, okay, you know what? You have to look good.
Yeah.
You're stopping people on the street. They will only stop with your first impression.
Yeah. And you have to feel good.
You have to feel good,
You have
right?
to feel good.
Absolutely.
Right? I think working out is mostly also for feeling good.
Right.
So gym like karke aane workout, I feel like, wow, like this was a good workout. So same with clothing, hair, like you feel good. A lot of things we do in life, we're feeling good, experiences, adventure. Why do we jump off the planes and go bungee jumping? It's scary, but we feel good. So that feeling good, and I teach my kids also. I said, kam karna hai sara, we want to work hard, we want to be good people,
Right.
we want to be kind, we want to give back, but we want to feel good
Right.
in life. We also want to have fun. We also want to have playfulness. बहुत serious होके life live नहीं करनी, because life is also to be enjoyed and relished and experienced and savored. जब ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, like somebody who has a 9 to 5, like you have to find time to really like savor it. कि I am experiencing life in this 9 to 5.
Right.
That life, right? So find ways to have fun, whether it's dance, whether it's, like dressing up, whether it's movement, yoga, talking to a stranger.
Right.
Savor life. We only have one life. Create experiences. Create your story. Create your legacy. So,
And even learning trading.
yeah.
When you told me you're learning trading, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
She's an actor. She does this. She has a boutique business and she's doing trading. I shared with my wife as well. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, see, look at everyone.
Yeah.
Take the good from them. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ best ਲੈ ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ and try to implement in your own life as well because it helps, right?
It does, 100%.
And I think it's great that you're
And
doing
trading is really good. I think trading is, I mean, everyone should learn it. It's a life skill. Why not? Why
Why
not?
not?
And why stop ourselves? I mean, yes, it requires time and effort and discipline, but koi bhi cheez worth getting requires that. Anything that's worth achieving will get you to get disciplined. Matlab, I don't watch TV. I don't watch films unless and until it's a Hindi film and I've been waiting for it. I don't have a habit of watching Netflix.
Right.
Even as an actor, I should. My coach always tells me to go watch people, work of other people, because I find that the more I learn, the more useful I am with my time. So I have I want to learn. I want to learn trading. I want to learn more about cultures. I love traveling. I want to learn more about people. I love stories. I want to know what inspires people. I want to know like what keeps them going. Everyone's fighting a battle, kind of. There's disease, there's financial struggles, there's health problems, relationships. So it gives me like a really good kick when I hear someone's story and then I hear them rise above or transcend from the story. Because that's what life is about.
Kanika, what is the bigger picture of Adore by Kanika? Have you ever thought about it that okay, मैं ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਖੋਲਦਾ I'm like I have to go this way but obviously it is a process. You can think big, obviously you can think big but you have to have a process in place, technology ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਵੱਡਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ.
Yeah.
Adore by Kanika is your brand. You built it. What is the future of this? Where are you looking at it, this brand कि मैं ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ? ਕੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਉਹ brand ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ?
ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ like I wanted to represent Indian brands, but now my goal with Adore by Kanika is to create a space like a marketplace, a space for both Indian and Canadian communities to come together, collaborate with like-minded people, work with like-minded people, and look at fashion as something more than just aesthetic.
Right.
Look at fashion as a platform to build bridges. Look at fashion as something that creates, work for everybody, that creates that sisterhood or, or like fellowship between like-minded individuals, creators, artists, content creators, designers. This space will actually hold a lot of material and workspace and a lot of creativity that will work as a synergy in this community. That's my goal with my business. I want to create this marketplace. It's not just business and numbers. It's a space that people can come and people can take from. People can collaborate, work in partnership, and this space will hold a lot of room for all these creators.
So I think you are a spiritual person.
Yeah.
Right. I might be a spiritual person. I don't know. मैं हो सकता है.
मैं लगता है सारे spiritual people.
हाँ, पर मैंने पता नहीं है. So like I don't go to temple and pray. I don't like if my mom comes here and she takes me, I will go with her. If my mom tells me, hey, मंदिर बनाया करे, मत्था टेकिया करो, I will go and do it.
Yeah.
And I will do it very nicely. Like अंदरों करूँगा मैं. तो मैं कई बार ਆਪਾਂ मन ਚ भी सोचने कि I still pray to God, but I just don't go to the places and pray, right? And there is nothing wrong in doing that.
Oh, of course.
Right.
I mean, I think everyone is a spiritual person. Because being a spiritual person is that we're a part of this universal synergy, and we're all working in that synergy.
Right.
What is a spiritual person? You may not be taking out time to meditate and pray, but तुसी अपना best दे रहे हो. When you are giving your best to this world, you're a spiritual person. Right? Like you are giving your best. You're a good, you're a good father. You're a good husband. You work hard for your business. You work hard to give back. You're connecting with people. You're connecting with different souls. You're a spiritual person. I had always been inclined to the divine energy, but तुसी मैंने पूछा ना 20 to 30 तुसी की कितना? And I raised a family. When I turned 30, I lost my parents back to back within a year. So my 30 to 40, I think I only worked on myself spiritually, because life it inna kuch surface te aa gaya si that I had to feel, that I had to address. There was grief, there was isolation, there was loneliness, there was also pain. Oh, ਜਿਹੜੀ surface te aayi si, or it didn't come because of, well, it did come immediately because of the grief of my parents passing away. But the roots were like deep in my childhood. So, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ come as a human ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, as a soul ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, whether we're giving back to a charity, whether we're giving back to a person, as a soul ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ inclined ਹੁੰਦਾ inclination ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, that's your spiritual work. Right? Like even listening to someone's story कि कोई friend ਨੂੰ support ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, that's spiritual work, right? Because that ties us to God. We are all here in this one energy, in this universe flowing. I mean, yeah, we all have our jobs and we all have our families, but think about it, Kanav. ਅਸੀਂ world ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਕਿ we get born, we live our youth, we get married, have kids, pay our bills, retire and die.
Right.
There has to be more to life, right? And what is that? That is our purpose, that is our soul. Because ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਲੇ ਹੀ ਆਣਾ ਹੈ, ਕੱਲੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ. Then what are we creating with our soul work? ਕਿਉਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ karmic balance ਹੈ, karma ਹੈਗਾ, you know, past life ਹੈਗਾ. These things are all happening because we are a part of that. We are creating that.
Right.
When like even things like I don't take a loss as a loss, like financial loss or any loss, because I feel like ਉਹ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੀ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀ.
Yeah. ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ.
Because ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ we regret, we think about, oh no, why me? We get into that victim mindset. But it's all happening for you. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ, because that's how universe flows.
Something for the better. ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ better ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ you do something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ you know ਇੰਨੇ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਬਚਾਅ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, like ਅਗਰ ਸੱਟ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਏ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ 'ਚ ਬਚਾਅ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, because something else was to happen. But so be grateful and like don't hold on to like little things, because Vaheguru, I address the divine energy as Vaheguru. We all have our own names. Right. Vaheguru has a plan. He has put you on the path, and you just have to trust. Especially at the down days, you have to trust more. Because you know you're not going to find out what's happening after unless and until you just walk the path and trust.
You know, you mentioned losing your parents back to back. I think it is very tough for sure, because I saw my wife. I mean, she lost her mom when she was in 12th.
Oh wow.
And then because of cancer, and she just lost her dad like 6 months ago, and because of cancer as well.
Really?
Right? Yes. And you know, she went to India, and you know, all the process and everything happened and whatever, and she came back. You know, when she was supposed to come back, I was here. I was telling myself, and when I'm like, you know what, when she comes back, she will be a different person, and I have to understand this.
Yeah.
She was a different person when she went to India, and when she will come back, and she was a different person. She was, because you know, father figure is something else. And even me as a husband, I think, okay, you know, his dad is there. Even if I do shit, he will take care of everything, right? In your mind, right? As a husband, you think this way. But again, you know, I saw the changes. I don't know how to explain it, but when I saw the changes, I was like, wow, man, I have to be a more nice guy.
Yeah,
I can't be a shitty guy anymore.
I think the onus also comes on the family.
Yes.
Because ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ pressure, like, because it's not pressure, I would say, but when a person deals with something like that, everybody has to, like, you know, game up.
Right.
Because it's a lot. I mean, you've probably seen that too. It's losing parents, no matter what age. It's a big loss.
It is a big
You
loss.
feel like, and especially both parents, you feel like ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੋਂ like that ਛਤਰ ਛਾਇਆ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਈ, because you are the big one now. Because you always feel like you're guarded, you're guided. Parents ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's tough. ਮੇਰੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛੂੰਗਾ ਹੁਣ. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫਿਲਮ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਸੋ ਯੂ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ. ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੇਗਾ, ਬਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ, ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਐਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਮੇਬੀ ਯੂ ਸੀ ਦ ਮੂਵੀਜ਼. I see the movies, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿ they say these parties are fake.
Yeah.
People go, they don't really want to go, but they just go because they have to keep that connection with them. So they go, they drink, they show up or whatever. Is it really fake? ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਫੇਕ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ਼ਿਪ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਹੋ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ?
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਪਾਰਟੀਜ਼ ਹੀ ਫੇਕ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ.
ਪਾਰਟੀਜ਼ ਹੀ ਫੇਕ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ?
Because any industry, right? To see, like, if you ask me, I'm having a party right now.
Wow, okay.
This is my party. I'm in beautiful nature setup. I'm having a great conversation with you.
Right.
We're talking about life. We're talking about what impacts our being. This is a party. We're having a good time. It's a party. We don't have to hold a drink.
Yeah.
And that's networking.
Right.
You know, that's networking. That's, and any industry, that's, parties are kind of like, okay, you talk to people, or, you know, for youngsters, it might be a place to hook up. I don't know.
Right.
Or network.
Right.
Basically, grow your connections, grow your social circle. It's good for businesses and any kind of work, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's basically not a comfort zone for many.
Yeah.
The moment ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੇ, you know, pajame ਤੋਂ ਆਪਦੇ suit ਚ ਚੱਲ ਗਏ,
Yeah.
obviously you
have to be
different
switched
person.
on.
Yeah.
I love parties. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
love
no, I
parties.
get it, 100%.
But I love parties because I have my guard down in my party. I dance, and it's like movement for me. And it's, you know, I love socializing. I love people. I love food. So, but again, it's just a way of like connecting and socializing and networking. I don't think there is. In any industry, like even corporate, which they call real estate, like, you know, it's just a way to kind of crack a conversation or whatever.
So Kanika, when you look at other people, when you see, okay, this person is less confident, ਜਾਂ ਹਾਲੇ confidence ਘੱਟ ਹੈ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ, ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ, and they are your friends, how do you address them? Do you tell them straight up, hey, you know what, this needs to change, or this needs to be better? Do you tell your friends upfront things, or what exactly happens?
So, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ, like, I think in different periods of time, different things happen in life. So a very confident person can also be like, also take a dip,
Right.
and go down and go very like underconfident. So
Right.
it's a time in your life. So if I'm noticing something in my sphere of people where I'm noticing that there is a shift happening, I will definitely offer help first.
Okay.
I'll be like, is there something going on? Can I help you in any way? And by offering help, I've already given them the idea that I've noticed a change.
Right.
So there's something that either needs to be addressed or can be, but then it also, like, a lot of people are not comfortable. A lot of people are not comfortable hearing advices. Because, you know, have you noticed?
I know, I get it what you mean, yes.
Because they are doing their best in their own right. So who are you to tell me that I should do this?
Yeah.
Right? If I have that relationship, like if I'm talking to my sister or somebody who's really close to me or my best friend, I feel that comfortable, I would strictly go down to be like, you know what, this is not who you are. I want you to go back to your being a rock star, being that 10 on 10 person again. And if there's something that's happening, let's roll a solution. Let's find a solution. But you're not going to go down on like 4 on 10 when I know you're on 10 on 10.
Sometimes I think hearing this can change everything for someone.
Absolutely.
Right? And I've seen that with people. You know,
Absolutely.
the moment you tell them, hey, you know what, you're not like this.
Yeah.
You are this, but this is your situation, so
Yeah.
maybe just come out of it, right?
And notice kan वैसे भी तो like, who notices? कोई notice होता है, सारे अपने life में इतने busy ने. So for the fact that you have come to me and told me that you're not this person, it's like you've taken the time to observe something.
Right.
So you're already like a friend.
Right.
You're already someone who really cares about me.
Right.
So that way of addressing is better than, I would say, than anything else.
Awesome, Kanika.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything.